Hi there, this is Amy. I just wanted to pop by today and talk a little bit about my magic wand. And that magic wand is curiosity. So I find curiosity being like one of the most powerful tools in my tool belt. And I am a huge fan of knowing myself or knowing yourself. It's just super empowering. It keeps me out of victim mode and helps me master my own reality. So, one of the things that's helped me more than anything is curiosity. So, if I find myself in a place of judgment or something, it's just easier to shift into curiosity like, why is this happening to me? And what's happening now? And who is that person? And why do they do it like that? And why do I do this like that? And, what's this, experience? And it's funny being a nine a lot of times I think we get slated at the nine in the Enneagram, which is what I've tested at. I think we get a bad rap about being wishy-washy or not being able to make a decision. And for me, it's less about not being able to make a decision and more about the curiosity of an experience. So for me to choose where to go to dinner, it's not that I don't have an opinion, or it's not that I don't even not know what I want. It's that everything is marvelous. And if I want to have steak for dinner, that's great. If I have Mexican food, that's great. If I want to try something new, that's great. So it's like I'm just down for the adventure. And that is something that is like one of my favorite parts about myself. So when I hear people talk about like, oh, you just can't make up your mind, I mean, it is not that at all. Also, the other side of that piece for me is I think I've been accused of not thinking at all, that I don't think before I do something or whatever. And that is so far from my truth, I can't even tell you. Because what's happening is I'm thinking about how my decision affects everybody else's and the rest of the world, and like it's somehow I understand the butterfly effect at such a deep level that I realize my actions are super important. And maybe they're not so important, maybe I need to take that down a notch, but it's still like there's an upside of that or an upspin and there's a downspin possibly, like, right, like even the word lazy, to me, like lazy is only a bad word because I guess people believe it's a bad word. I mean, lazy is, we're all lazy somewhere in our lives. We're all avoiding something we don't want to do because we don't like doing it, which is funny. This lends to experience I've started to understand recently about energy and energy footprints. And I don't like doing dishes, man. And I look lazy when it comes to the kitchen because I don't enjoy doing dishes. And I think it comes from a past life where like my level of worthiness was so low at some point that the only job I felt qualified for was washing dishes. And so I only had that job not because I loved it, but because I felt incapable and unworthy and just like that's all I could really possibly do. And so some residual of that affects me, I think, in this lifetime a little, where I just don't feel, I don't want to have that experience anymore of being unworthy or feeling, just doing dishes is a bad reminder. But what happens is where I stand at my kitchen sink and do dishes, if I'm sitting there not wanting to do it and feeling grouchy about doing it or feeling angsty about it or feeling unworthy about it or, not being in a place of joy, I leave an energy footprint in front of that kitchen sink and in the kitchen. And it kind of sucks me in every time. And guess what? When my kids pass over that energy footprint, they feel the same way. So they don't really want to do dishes either, which doesn't help me. So I think there's some fun ways in exploring how to heal that and how to like shift that experience into a different experience. And so I know people talk about, well, you just have to have a different energy about it. You have to be in joy about it. And that just sometimes doesn't happen overnight. I think once I have the consciousness about it, I can move forward with that experience consciously, turn on some happy music while I'm doing dishes. And then, start being like, wow, I'm so grateful that I have dishes to eat off of. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are really cool dishes. And actually, feeling the water and using it as a moment to like be present and just be grateful. Now, I'm going to slip up from time to time, but as I resync into that energy, then I can start pulling it up. And so it becomes a joyful spot, and then people are gravitated to that joyful spot, and they want to do dishes too because they're so excited. So then all of a sudden, maybe my teenagers are doing the dishes without being asked. And maybe I actually want to do dishes too because it feels so good right here in this spot. So anyway, I'm going to try that out. I'll let you guys know how that goes. But, it's just, I think there's just every opportunity or every experience is an opportunity to know yourself better and to master your life better and to just kind of really start mastering your experience. So it comes from that place of curiosity for me, because if I start judging it or praising it, it's like it becomes up or down instead of neutral. And curiosity to me is a very neutral place. And I can do a lot from a place of neutrality. That's not as far to go as if I'm hardcore judging myself or hardcore praising myself. That neutral space is just kind of really comfortable. So anyway, that's my note for today and what I've discovered about myself, and I will continue doing so. And if I could share any of this with my 25-year-old self, I would do that just to help make her day easier and her life just a little bit more enjoyable. And the key message for me too is that it's always working out. Even when I don't think it is, it's always working out. So anyway, thanks for watching. If this has been helpful, then bonus. So bye.